Hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, this is going to be a bonus general message. We start these out with some anecdote, something real that happened, something pertaining to my dog, and we see if this is the tone for the story. Um, I, for the first time ever, my dog tapped out. He had been on patrol, as I call it, working hard, doing everything that he does. And he'd been doing it for a couple hours, and then he was done. And he came and got me, and it was like, Mama, Aries is tired. Let's go home now. Aries is cold. He's tired. He wants some more food. Let's go. And it was very obvious that he came to me and told me that his work was done. And it's funny because blue healers, man, they've got stamina like nobody's business. But what I'm going to say is maybe that's what this storyline is going to be about. Maybe we have a character that's going to be tapping out at some point. Also, guys, please don't forget, scammers are out right now pretending to be me. Please do not give them your money. I will never ask you for money. I am only here on my two different channels on YouTube, Kate's Regretless Life and Tarot Dog. And I do have an Instagram for Kate's Regretless Life, but beyond that, I'm nowhere. So if you see, supposedly me on Facebook or Rumble or Twitter or any other social media site, report them. They are not me. Okay. And I don't sell readings, by the way, never have. So please don't, and I don't solicit you for money. I don't sell you anything. So please don't give money to anybody. Report them immediately. We have a 4 of Cups. We have a 3 of Swords. Oh yeah, somebody has definitely reached a point of I don't want to say crisis point. If anything, a character, hi guys, good to see you everyone. I feel as if somebody has reached a point where 4 of Cups is a disappointment, a regret, because there has been just a mess, maybe a heartbreak, or someone has caused another person a heartbreak, or maybe they're just bummed out that they set themselves up to experience another heartbreak. We have the Hermit and we have the Judgment. Okay, now I'm going to say right now it looks like things are reaching a crescendo of, sometimes when our conscience kicks in and like there's a big regret. Somebody could have a big regret over a Scorpio or a Virgo, but there's definitely been a heartbreak that came up for 2 people, because we see 2 people here, and then we have kind of like an angelic energy up above, which I'm going to describe that angelic image as like the conscience, and it's definitely somebody looking back over their shoulder. Now this, ironically, it could be that we have 2 people, like, someone is thinking back to that heartbreak, and the other person is simultaneously thinking back to their contribution to the heartbreak. There's a lot of deep thought, because it feels like maybe things are coming to a head where it's time to try to resolve it or to communicate. And I just really feel like somebody wishes that they could talk again. The Hermit is so much silence. We do have a masculine on the Hermit card. Doesn't have to be a masculine. But let's see. Tell me about this 3 of Swords. Tell me about the heartbreak. Even though I know it's not the funnest. Okay, so we have a King of Swords, we have a Queen of Pentacles, but we have a 10 of Wands in the reverse. It's a heartbreak between possibly an air sign and an earth sign. Does not have to be, and it's never been resolved. Lot of wounded energy, and because we see somebody like in a fetal position on that 10 of Wands, I'm going to say this kind of hurt could have been reflected, because this could be old stuff that was triggered, possibly for both of them. What's ironic is they're in the upright. They had a real chance at something beautiful, but instead something went horribly awry. 9 of Wands, it could have been that perhaps one of the 2 of them, possibly a masculine, again, doesn't have to be, I don't read for genders, but that's what we see on the card, so I'll just kind of try to keep the storyline straight by mentioning that. It could have been that there was, let's say, the divine masculine energy could have actually been in a place where they were very close to being healed from something, but not quite. So they were still in this like reticent situation where, like, I like this person, I want this person, but I don't really want to put in too much energy because right now I'm not at full strength and full energy myself. I'm still needing time to kind of take it slow. I'm still needing time to kind of sit back. So they probably didn't give their full amount. Now, that's fine if someone doesn't give their full amount and, like, say somebody's hosting a barbecue and, a character gets invited and they go to the barbecue and they're like, but I just had a really rough run lately. And so I'm just going to kind of sit off to the side. Maybe I'm not going to be the party animal. I'm not going to, contribute too much to the laughs and the conversation, but I'm going to just be present. But then I might also leave early. And sometimes I might even pull my energy back and maybe, step aside and go into a room and just, heck, have a tiny nap in an easy chair and then return to, the hubbub of the barbecue. I'm probably not going to help cook. I'm probably not going to bring anything, and I'm probably not going to help clean up. That's fine in a friendship situation, especially if friends know, like, oh, so and so's having a rough go of it, but we're glad you're here. In a connection with one other person, if somebody is pulling that stunt because they're not up to full strength yet, that could look pretty painful to the other person, I would assume, because it's like, I don't get it. Are you disinterested? Why are you not contributing? Why are we not putting any energy in? We have the Two of Coins coupled with the Moon. And they might have thought about, maybe I should explain why I'm like this, but I don't think I will. Now, part of it could have been they weren't even sure. But I think they were in the process of going through major transformation at some point in time here. But I'm going to say this is a storyline of characters reflecting on what felt like a massively painful betrayal and heartbreak. And we're kind of seeing what happened with that betrayal, that heartbreak, what led to those feelings. Why do we have the regret here? Tell me about that Four of Cups. And let's actually change decks. Why the regret? Four of Cups. Ooh, we've got Four of Cups. Came out sideways ultimately, but it was kind of going wild for a minute. When we clarify, one card with its own self from another deck, the odds of that aren't very good, right? Because there's 78 cards in a deck that could have gone a lot of different ways. But I'm going to say it's a pretty strong message. Now, in both of these, I will note they both happen to have feminines on the card. It could be that right now a feminine is saying, I wish I had never met that person. I wish I had never had to feel this way. I wish they never did that to me. And simultaneously, that other person, we've already seen kind of primarily masculine energy, might be sitting here saying, I wish I had not done that to them. I thought a lot about, like revealing some stuff to them. I was tired. I didn't really contribute much. So I'm wondering if there's this, I think that they have different emotions about this, because it may be that whoever is the feminine energy could be saying, I so regret ever having met them because of what happened, how I felt after all this. Nobody says, oh, it'd be great to have a heartbreak. Nobody wants that for themselves. Let me get another on that, our double Four of Cups. Again, we have feminine energy wanting to walk away from this, wanting to put it behind her. If only, with this Eight of Cups, if only I could just forget this happened to me. And then we have this Knight of Cups. She's kind of saying, if only I could walk away from this, and then maybe I can meet somebody else, somebody totally different, and, like experience emotion again that isn't the emotion of heartbreak. Because I'm going to say this kind of really, this was a really, really bad, really painful experience. We need to go back over for just a second, because I can't stop. Out of the corner of my eye, this Moon card is like staring me down. I'm like, all right, I get it. I'll come back to you. Tell me about their secret, the thing that they didn't know if they wanted to convey. We've got the Nine of Swords in the reverse, but we got the Eight of Pentacles sideways. They say, well, I didn't want to bother her. We have a feminine here. I didn't want to distress her with whatever the ups and downs were of what I was working on. they may have had, I don't know, career, the location, trying to build something in their life. And they might have said, well, my problems were my problems. I didn't want to burden her with my problems. The issue with that seems to be that they were still so, they withheld so much with that Nine of Wands energy that it caused a huge amount of hurt to the other person. So let me just ask this. Okay, don't hate the storyteller, the messenger, meaning moi, but I have to ask something that's going to be a little bit as fair as I can be. I try to be fair and hold all my characters equally as accountable, but also equally as like I support them at the same time. I want to know this feminine universe, if she took on a lot of hurt and pain. Let me ask from the universe's perspective, did she, in some small way, internalize their behavior to the point where she made it hurt more because of her perception of it? I'm not saying that it's fair for somebody to, withdraw, withhold, or necessarily. But on the other hand, everybody does have a right to handle their business the way they need to. Now, she interpreted it a certain way. We have King of Sacred Circles and we have King of Swords. Okay, so remember, we're dealing with a Queen of Pentacles and a King of Swords. That's what we saw a little earlier on, wherever they went. Here we go. Okay, so these two are different, right? They operate in different ways, first and foremost. She's an earth energy, they're an air energy. They work stuff out in their head. She may work things out in the 3D world by talking, by doing stuff, by physically taking action, and they work through stuff only up here for maybe agonizingly long amounts of time. That's two vastly different approaches. Those vastly different approaches, could that leave space for a lot of misunderstanding and a lot of unnecessary wounding? Possibly, because she doesn't know what's going on and they're not about to say it because that's not how they operate. They work on stuff up here. The universe says she was expecting someone who operates like she does, a King of Pentacles, but she was dealing with a King of Swords. So there is on her side some of the hurt, the heartbreak, and the pain, and how she's wishing she'd never even met them because it hurt so bad. The universe is kind of like saying, okay, but I feel like the universe is like this kindly grandfather who's like, well, all right, but sweetheart, imagine this. You were thinking that they do stuff just like you, that when they got problems or something, they're going to open up and they're going to share it and they're going to do things in the same way that you would do stuff. But what if they do stuff in a different way? What if they got to process stuff differently? Do you think that they did that to hurt you? Probably not, because it's just the way they are. And you're different too. And maybe the way you process stuff wouldn't necessarily be easy for them. These are two people that do not operate the same way. So there's going to be, even in the best of situations, if two characters were very much, they'd already gotten to know each other really well and they understood this about each other, there would still probably be moments of like, frustration and upset, because why can't you just do it in a way that makes sense to me? Because these are two vastly different characters. They can't help it. They're different. But this doesn't look like anybody was out to intentionally cause horrible hurt and pain for this fictional story. Okay, now let's be fair with the other character. King of Swords. Universe, what's King of Swords got to say to them about this heartbreak, this pain? We've got a 10 of Pentacles. Hold on, we got to get one more on that, because keep in mind, this is like, I use what I call the universe for kind of like the stern conversational stuff, but that's also said hopefully with love and non-judgy, while still trying to point out things that might be better food for thought. The universe says to this King of Swords, in regards to this heartbreak, that there was a lot of pain and a lot of incomplete energy, and they did withhold explaining things that could have taken the pain away if they had communicated, right? But to all that, the universe says, okay, King of Swords, think about this. If you want to be in a relationship and you want that 10 of Pentacles. A 10 of Pentacles, especially, like, what is a community made of? What is a happy home made of? What do you think that's all about? It's about people that are interdependent. That means your problems, your worries, your woes, you should share with them, because that's how they can be a part of this thing we call life with you. If you want to be an island and do stuff all by yourself, then you probably can't contribute like this. You want this, but you probably needed to first get yourself back 100% healed, work on your own problems, make sure you love yourself enough, because if you think you're going to be able to be in a community, in a relationship, you got to be all in. You can't give 4 pentacles and they give 5. That still comes up short. Now we only got 9. You said you wanted a 10 of pentacles. That means you got to be ready to give all 5 of yours if you think someone's going to give you their 5. You can't expect an inadequate experience and think that that's not going to hurt somebody. You came up short, even though it's understandable. You needed to get your 9 of Pentacles on your own first. You got to make sure you're feeling good about you. You got to maybe practice more self-love. But when you need to practice self-love is not a time when you should be trying to say that you're ready to give to someone, because you're not. Or if you're going to do that, you need to tell them up front. So I want to have a 10 of Pentacles, but I'm not going to give you 5, even if you'll give me your 5. I'm only going to give you 4. Are you going to be okay with that? Because I want this, but I'm not going to give it to you right now. You needed to be honest about that, King of Swords, because you needed to work on yourself is the truth of it. You flat out probably shouldn't have been trying to do this when you were going to come up short. I mean, it's like if people are buying a pizza together and they said they'd go in 50-50 and it comes time to pay and this person only slides across $4, then they just expect the other person has to now pay 6. Why? That wasn't the agreement. Everybody knows it's not the agreement. If you say 50-50, that's it. You better put your 5 on the table. I got 5 on it. Okay, so I think all of that's very fair without being like, you evil, bad, blah, blah, blah. She's a victim. You're the monster. It's none of that. It's just kind of trying to step back and look at stuff in a different lens. Okay, but now let's get to the resolution part of this, because this is wonderful. I like the fact that this is like taking a very painful situation and working through it. And I have in my mind, somebody is like smoothing frosting over a cake. First, it was just a big old blob, and now we're smoothing it. And now we're going to be able to put little flowers and make it pretty and decorate the cake. We could fix this story. It doesn't have to be hurtful. It doesn't have to be horrible. Let's take a look at the Hermit. We have got the King of Coins sideways, with the 8 of Swords upright. They have questioned, I don't know, could I ever be what she would need me to be? I don't know that I can change my ways enough to be a King of Pentacles so that we can communicate in a way that it's going to make sense to her. Okay, so they've been on this deep thought process and they've been very stuck on this. Knight of Coins in the reverse. They haven't made any progress toward it necessarily. 2 of Coins, they've just waited. But with the Queen of Cups in the reverse and the 2 of Swords, this is starting to make it look like they've been almost hold on, because either they're trying to lie to themselves and tell themselves, well, she didn't really love me anyway, since she thought I was somebody else and I can't be that person that she wants me to be. And so she's probably just karmic and she probably doesn't love me anyway. Unless, remember, she's been a Queen of Pentacles throughout this. Unless this Queen of Cups in the reverse is actually representing a karmic individual that they really needed to get out of their head. Someone who didn't love them, somebody that wasn't nice to them. And they've been saying, I need to get beyond that. And then contemplate, maybe it's not about like the Queen of Pentacles expectations about how they have to be, but rather, what is their real blockage? Have they yet dealt with that? Because this would almost suggest you don't have any chance of being like in a real relationship if you only want to live in your head with the ghost of your ex who caused you a trauma. Or at least that's the way I would look at this depending on, just because of the cards we've got. But let me go a little further here. They might be about to have this lightning bolt understanding. What is it with that Knight of Swords? What is this thing that has come to them now? The Fool, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Devil. They are having a sudden, like, I'm going to call it the Epiphany moment that makes them say, maybe I want to take off this mask. What if I could do things different? What if I just needed time to heal from whomever that karmic was? And that was my real blockage. Maybe it's not that I could never be what she wants me to be. Maybe it's that I haven't been able to be open because I was still so wounded and still so trapped by my wounds, which is what we saw at the very beginning. They were sitting there on this staircase as a wounded warrior, unwilling to communicate things and unwilling to give in a connection the way they would need to if they want to have a 10 of Pentacles. Tell me about the Devil real quick. King of Swords. And we have the Aquarian star. I think that this character is about ready to see it differently. Kathleen, thank you, Angel. You are so generous. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. That's a beautiful donation. I would say at this point, this is their hermit's journey. This is what they've been stewing and brewing on. They feel bad that they hurt her, but they also were trying to defend it for a while. Like, well, I can't be a King of Swords. I don't see how I could be, a King of Pentacles. I don't see how I could be that. But really, then they start thinking about it and they're like, maybe it's that I've allowed the ghost of an ex, a karmic ex, to actually be my blockage. Holy shit. Maybe that's what this is about. You mean that I could take a leap of faith? Maybe I've needed time to grow, but maybe that's what's happened. In this time to grow, I see what was so toxic. Maybe there's nothing wrong with me being a King of Swords as long as I'm still reaching out for the thing that is my wish fulfillment, as long as I want to heal. I don't think they ever wanted to heal before. I think they sat there and they stewed and brewed. There's nothing wrong with how they operate. They're a lovely king in the upright. They don't have to be somebody else to be with that Queen of Pentacles, but they do have to be able to communicate to the Queen of Pentacles. And first, they actually have to convey, like, oh my God, I want happiness and I want to heal. I don't want to sit on the sidelines and then give almost nothing to someone that I say I want to be in a relationship with and then cause them all that grief and pain. I don't want to hurt people, but they were hurting people. But it was all because they still couldn't identify that what they needed to do more than anything was to heal themselves and to want to heal and put forth that energy. I don't think the Queen of Pentacles was trying to get them to change. I think it was just like, they got to talk to me. They can't be giving me nothing and not communicating. Okay, so I'm going to say this has all been their thing to work through in their mind. Now, the Judgment card has our feminine on it. So let's take a look at that through her eyes. Scorpio Energy, Judgment card. Now, remember, she was wishing she'd never met him and hoping she could just move on, turn her back to this and go meet maybe somebody else, maybe try love again elsewhere, because this agonizing thing she went through with them is just something she's just trying to get beyond. But with the Judgment card, we have Ace of Swords for her. We have Judgment in the reverse. She's saying, what I know to be true is they'll never heal anything with me. The truth is I have to make peace with this myself. They're never coming back. They were a liar who ran away, especially when they knew all the games they played. She thinks that they're just kind of an awful person. She says, I have to heal from somebody that would run away after doing me dirty, and they'll never say sorry, and they'll never come back, and they'll never fix anything. And that's my truth. And that's what I have to operate with. I have to cut this out of my life. I have to make peace with the things someone will never make peace about because of what they did. So she still is very wounded. In fact, I would say more bitter than ever, but saying, I have to heal it myself. My job. Hi, Annie. Thank you, Angel. Thank you so much. Thank you for that generous donation. Okay, hold on, because we're not done with this yet. We got a Chariot sideways, we got the Prince of Wands, and we got the King of Wands. Everything is sideways. So the cold hard truth for her is that saying I'm going to heal from that liar, that la da 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 da, it's almost like saying, like let's say we had a bruise and we go, my bruise, oh man, that hurts so bad. Like, I can't wait till this bruise heals. We don't squish our bruises. We don't press on them. It's not going to actually allow it to heal at all. We're going to re-injure everything. If she's going to be able to heal from this and let it go, she's going to have to stop following it up with the Seven of Swords, the liar. They'll never come back and fix it, the liar. I'm going to heal from that liar. There's an anger or a hurt that is still so strong, and it says she really can't move forward. She says she wants to move toward love, towards somebody new. She's not going to do that, though. She's not going to. It's going to be so questionable because there's still too much hurt here. Boy, this was a really, really bad situation. Let me ask this. What is the... we're going to change the decks and say, universe, weigh in on that for her, because this is still, it feels like something's still so messed up and so wrong here. And I'm wondering what would fix this. And I don't want to just say for her, but like, how can things be aligned? They seem to be more focused on healing and pursuing things that are going to really be right for them. Now, we didn't see yet if that means returning to her and trying to heal things with her. They've been thinking a lot about her, but she's the one who regrets she ever met him. And they've just kind of been sitting over here thinking still about an ex. I don't know that they've been able to take any responsibility for the way their actions hurt her. But on the other hand, we got to be fair. She has to be responsible for her own emotions too. Not everyone's going to be healthy enough to love us. Not everyone's going to be kind enough. And some people are going to be cretins, but she still has to be able to genuinely let it go for her own best interest. But easier said than done, right? Okay, universe, what might be the advice to like getting beyond all of this? 9 of Cups, the Star. Spend more time, especially this year of the Dragon, doing things that fill one's cup. Not saying I'm going to get over that liar, but rather I'm going to do things that I love and bring things into my life of great value. I'm going to really enjoy going after my best life, my wish fulfillment. And I know that it's going to heal me. The brighter I am, the more I lean toward the things that make me smile more and make me laugh more, the more it's going to help heal my heart. I'm going to fill my life, my environment with joy and make some wishes come true. I think that's a really great message for like the pathway to overall healing, because dwelling on something saying, I'm going to silently sit down and heal from the liar, that she keeps only thinking about the wrong that was done and her very negative perception of them. This is not a time for her to sit in silence at all. That's not going to be the kind of healing. She needs dynamic healing. She needs to be active. She has to get out there and do things that make her happy. Sitting in silence, secretly, what she's going to brew on and stew on and become more bitter over is every wrong thing they did that she's now got to heal from. And the truth is, she doesn't really know the full story. So it'd be better in this story for this character to get out, be dynamic, go do things that add light and brightness into their life. Now, let me ask this. And even though I've kind of not wanted to, I will now. You notice that they need to do that same kind of dynamic healing also, right? They both have the Star card now, which I think is great, because obviously what happens when we have hurt, when we have huge pain, we got to heal. And it's really hard to heal. But this is a story about healing. This is a story about hitting that brick wall where it's like, I really can't carry this burden anymore. It's too freaking hard. It's so sour, and it makes life so unnecessarily extra hard to carry unhealed wounds, right? So let me just ask, is there any future interaction between them? Because, they're embracing, that king is embracing, look, I am a King of Swords. That's who I am. But they're also embracing healing. We have a 5 of Wands. We have a 3 of Swords in the reverse. I said, is there going to be any future communication? The Five of Wands is like thinking around things, but there is a healing of the Three of Swords. That's in the reverse. I don't know if they are going to be talking per se. The Hermit, the Five of Swords, the Three of Cups. Dwayne, thank you, Angel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. That is so incredibly generous. Thank you. I think that a lot of this stuff that's been thought about for such a long time is going to be communicated. All the time that there was this silence, this, I don't know, I'm guessing that they probably blocked her. They want to communicate at some point. Part of me, I'm really on the fence, because part of me is like, maybe these two should just stay the heck away from each other and just move on. But I don't pick what happens with characters. And the bigger part of me is looking at this saying, I said, are they ever going to interact together again? I actually really think that they are. And I think, honestly, to hash things out, to say, I never wanted to hurt you. I never want to think badly of you. So what the hell happened? Well, see, I really should have been on a single solo journey for a while, because I wasn't ready to open up to anybody. This is our King of Swords. I was trying to be with somebody while pushing them away simultaneously. That's not the way I should have been. I realize that now. It takes a while to figure stuff out sometimes, to figure out why we're doing what we're doing. This sounds kind of like weak sauce when it's like, well, the only reason I destroyed your heart and mine in the process is because, I really wasn't ready to be with somebody, but I wanted to try it and then shove you away. I mean, that's a shitty thing. It is. But I don't know that King of Swords was really in a headspace where they knew that that's what they were doing. You could see that they had that blockage around that karmic energy. I think somebody wounded them so badly, messed them up so bad. Whoever that Queen of Cups in the reverse was, somebody that did not love them, could not give them love. And that was their wound. So they're like walking around, basically bleeding. That's not the time to try to go out dancing with a new partner when you're oozing blood from some huge, gash across your chest. Of course, they weren't going to be able to be good to that Queen of Pentacles. What did they have to offer? They were just going to bleed on her. That kind of energy made them push away for sure. I don't think that these characters, after they put some energy into their own healing and their own happiness, I think a lot of that hurt is going to fade, just because their cups are going to be more full and they're going to be genuinely much more healed. And that's maybe why, to be able to hash stuff out, and it is hash it out. There's a lot to say, and a lot of things that were in the subconscious that are going to have to be, it's hard to find words for what's in the subconscious, especially once we realize our unconscious behaviors, and now we got to vocalize them. I think the big thing here is, I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't want to hurt you. That was not my objective, even though I pushed you away. And I've had to think about that for a long time. With this Three of Cups, this is not just like, oh, this person's coming in on hand and knee and, coming in to apologize to her. The Three of Cups is like, they can finally like maybe really interact in like a peaceful way, even a joyful way. And they might get through this, and they might actually really get a chance to enjoy each other's company, possibly have a new beginning with this Page of Pentacles. Got an Ace of Wands, got the Ace of Swords, we have the Empress. The dynamic of this entire situation could change so dramatically. The energy of these characters could change so dramatically. The Empress is, if nothing else, it's a chance for huge growth and something serious and nurturing and loving. And I'm going to say this is like the mutual energy between them. There is passion. There is a desire that I think they're both going to recognize to actually have this mutual energy of even an energy of like protection. Let's protect this relationship. Let's see where this could go now. I mean, they've come through like a really difficult phase of like not understanding their own actions, then, you know, like working through the aftermath of what happens when we're wounded and we don't really identify it, and then we go out and hurt others, and then the hard feelings, and then the shame and the distress over like, how do I fix this now? Well, first, got to fix yourself. Then you can fix, because that's where the original problem occurred. Is there was unhealed stuff within a self that then spilled out onto another person, and then that person really got wounded. So it's like they, it's got to start from the very beginning in order to get this healed. But we kind of watch that whole process play out. Okay, I'm going to leave this one here. You guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Lots of love. I will see you guys in the next one. Oh my gosh, 35 minutes. Yikes. This one got long. It's my pleasure, you guys. Thanks for popping in. Don Divine, good to see you. Hi, Cindy. Faith, Action, Bravery. Thank you as always, sweetheart. Hey, JoJo. Good to see you out there. I hear you, Annie. Laugh for life. Hello, hello. Hey, Kathleen. Lisa Nova. One ring to rule two pigs. Hello, hello. All right, you guys. Take care. Bye for now. Hey, Jay. Eastgate Queen, how are you, darling? Happy birthday, Stacy. Kiss JG. All right, you guys. I'll see you again later on today. Bye for now.